Lives forever changed by war. These men are fighters with the People's Defence Force, armed groups of mostly young men with limited training that joined to fight against the military regime. Law became a PDF soldier when he was just 16 years old. Still only 18, he was shot multiple times by an army sniper.
Second day နဲ့ချိန်မှာအနောက်ကနေတော့စလိုက်မှာပြစ်ထည့်လိုက်တော့ဒီဘိုက်တစ်ချက်ထိတဲ့ချိန်မှာတော့လမ်းလျှောက်လို့ရသေးတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့အနောက်ကတစ်ချက်တက်ထိတဲ့ချိန်မှာခါယူကျိုးထောက်ရတော့ကျွန်တော်ထားလို့လုံးဝမရတော့အဲ့ဒါနဲ့သူတို့ကတော့အပီးပြစ်တာပဲဒါပေမဲ့နောက်နှစ်ချက်ထပ်ပြစ်တဲ့ချိန်မှာဘိုက်ပဲထိတာ
Three of his brothers have already died in this war. Law very nearly joined them.
ဘယ်လိုပြောလေမြန်တောက်လျှောက်လက်ပြစ်တယ်တောက်လျှောက်လက်ပြစ်တဲ့အချိန်မှာကျွန်တော်ကသွားလို့မရတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့အဲ့ဒီမှာပဲကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီတိုင်းဆေးဘယ်လိုပြောမလဲဆေးအဲ့ဒီမှာကျွန်တော်ဆေးမှုတွေပါကျွန်တော်ဆေးထည့်တာတော့ကျွန်တော်တတိယတော့လက်ချင်နေပြီဒါပေမဲ့သွားလို့တော့အဆင်မပြေပါဘူးဆိုတော့လေမြန်တောက်လျှောက်လက်ပြစ်တယ်
We've been invited into a secret safe house for injured rebel fighters on the border between Myanmar and Thailand. Conditions in their camp are dire, but with medical services inside Myanmar devastated by the war, they say that crossing into Thailand illegally to seek help is their only option.
အခုကျွန်တော်ရဲ့အထဲထဲမှာဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဥတွေဘာတွေကအစအကုန်လုံးဖြတ်တောက်ထားတယ်ဆိုတော့လေကျွန်တော်ဒီ C8 တွေကအစအတုတွေခါယိုးတွေကအစစတီးယိုးတွေထည့်တာတော့ဘယ်မှာဟိုအရင်တော့ရတဲ့ဆိုင်တော့အခုတော့တော်တော်လေးတက်တာလာပါပြီအခုတော့ဘယ်လိုပြောမလဲလမ်းတော့ရှောက်လို့မရသေးပေမဲ့ဒါမှနည်းနည်းချင်းနေတော့ရှောက်လို့တော့ကြိုးစားနေပါကြိုးစားနေပါ
Some of the fighters here will never recover, but they have no regrets and want the world to know of their struggle.
အများစုကတော့ဒီယူကရိန်းနဲ့ရုရှားဖြစ်စဉ်ကိုပဲတိကြရပါတော့ကျွန်တော်မြန်မာနိုင်ငံမှာဖြစ်နေတဲ့ဒီအကြမ်းဖက်မှုတွေလုပ်နေတဲ့ဥစ္စာကိုမတိကြဘူးပေါ့နော်ကျွန်တော်တို့လူငယ်တွေနေနဲ့အနာဂတ်ကိုစွန့်လွတ်ပြီးတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီအမှန်တရားဘက်ကယက်တည်နေတဲ့အရာအလုံးနိုင်ငံတကာအနေနဲ့သိစေချင်တယ်ပေါ့နော်
This man has just arrived at the camp. He was a dentist in Yangon when Myanmar's military seized power, but he gave up his practice to join the armed resistance as a paramedic, helping rebel units fighting the army.
ကျွန်တော်မှာဒီ record တွေတော့ရှိရပေါ့ဒါပေမဲ့တို့တွေဒီလိုမျိုးဒီဘက်ဖောက်ဝင်သွားတဲ့ဟာမျိုးတွေဒီအရှိကနေဖောက်ဝင်ပြီးအနောက်ကထွက်တဲ့ဟာမျိုးတွေပြောလို့ရှိရင်ဒီနှလုံးမထိပဲနဲ့အပေါ်ရေးပြားရင်တို့ထွက်တဲ့ဟာမျိုးတွေ
His story is one of countless from inside Myanmar, young professionals with their lives ahead of them, turned into soldiers fighting military rule.
ဒါတချို့တွေတိုက်ပွဲကြသွားတွေ့တဲ့အချိန်မှာကျတော့ပထမ2ယောက်3ယောက်လောက်ကြာတော့ကဘယ်လိုပြောမလဲလုံးဝကောင်းကောင်းအိတ်လို့မရဘူးပြီးတော့ငါဘာလို့ဒီလိုမျိုးငါတို့ဘာလို့ဒါတွေကြုံနေရတာလဲပေါ့ငါတို့နိုင်ငံမှာပဲကြုံနေရတာလားအခြားနိုင်ငံမှာငါတို့
Most of the resistance fighters spoken to by SBS News for this story were just teenagers when Myanmar's military launched its coup in 2021. In the years since, they've seen horrors that few can imagine, but an end to this conflict is nowhere in sight. Data collected by conflict tracker ACLED ranks Myanmar as the world's most extreme war zone. More than 15,000 fatalities recorded in the past year alone is second only to Ukraine. But Myanmar is far more fragmented, with more than 1,500 armed groups currently active across the country. The National Unity Government, Myanmar's de facto government in exile, says many of the country's long-standing armed ethnic militias are now training its PDF soldiers and fighting alongside them against the military.
Actually, People's Defence Forces is now fighting against the military junta, not alone. You know, we are fighting together, work together with the ethnic resistance organization. So that kind of alliance is one of our big strengths.
The United Nations says war crimes are being committed in Myanmar, mostly by the military, which is using indiscriminate bombing raids that regularly target civilians.
Tragically, the frequency and intensity of war crimes and crimes against humanity has only increased in recent months. In the past year, we have seen more brazen aerial bombings and indiscriminate shelling, resulting in the deaths of innocent civilians, including children.
Leaving many with no choice but to leave Myanmar and their loved ones behind. This is a classroom of mostly refugee children. Their teacher fled to Thailand only months ago.
ဒီသားစုနဲ့တူနေနေတာပေါ့နော်။ဒါပေမဲ့တည့်ရတိုင်းဒီမှာလည်းကိုကြောက်ထဲမှာဟိုမနေရုံးကန်ရတယ်ဆိုတော့ပေါ့နော်။ဟိုမိသားစုမခေါ်နိုင်သေးဘူးပေါ့နော်။ဒါပေမဲ့ကြိုးစားနေရပေါ့နော်ဒီမှာမိသားစုနေရောဒီမှာဟိုလုံခြုံတဲ့ဘဝရောက်ဖို့ပေါ့နော်။ဘာလို့ဆိုတော့တိုးတယ်ဟိုမှာနေရတာတိတ်တော့ဟိုမလုံခြုံပေါ့နော်။တည့်ရတိုင်းမလုံခြုံတော့
Her parents are among nearly 2 million people currently displaced by fighting inside Myanmar.
ဒီကြောင့်မိဘတွေပို့ပြီးတော့ပေါ့နော်စိတ်ကူရပါဆိုတော့အခုကကျတော့အဖမ်းခံရလို့ချင်းတခါတည်းသိရမလားဟိုတက်ပြစ်တဲ့ဘာညာအဲ့လိုမျိုးအစင်းဆိုတော့အကြောင်းမို့ပေါ့နော်ဟိုပြောမဆိုရင်မိဘတွေရဲ့တို့ရဲ့လုံခြုံရေးပြီးတော့ချင်းတို့ရဲ့ဟိုရှင်းတန်းဖို့အရေးပေါ့နော်ပြီးတို့ရဲ့ data မဟုတ်တော့အဲ့အတွက်ပို့ပြီးတော့စိတ်ကူရပါနော်
Tens of thousands have fled Myanmar into Thailand this year alone. But Thailand is not a signatory to the Refugee Convention and has no official process for assessing claims.
They are allowed only to remain in Thailand on an ad hoc basis, very short term, temporarily. They use just one criteria. If Thai officials could no longer hear gunfights or bombing, explosion from the other side of the border, they would assume that it is safe enough to push back people who cross the border. So it doesn't matter who they are and how many they are. So they could be in the tens of thousands, there could be children among them. But if Thai officials can no longer hear gunshots or explosions, these people, Myanmar, will be sent back across the border. And in effect, they end up becoming human ping pong balls, being pushed back and forth across the borderline.
Those that do come live in the shadows. A public school teacher in Yangon when Myanmar's military seized power. Now she's living illegally in Thailand.
My aunt came here illegally, and when it's very dark, like 1 a.m., we cross the river and we reach here. It's very difficult to survive here also.
Kior was among nearly 500,000 public and private sector workers that joined the Civil Disobedience Movement, or CDM, a nationwide general strike against military rule. The military's crackdown to suppress the movement has seen 25,000 political prisoners arrested. Blacklisted by the junta, Kior lost her job, was evicted from her home and had her passport cancelled before fleeing with her family on foot to Thailand. They now live in an overcrowded dwelling in one of the border towns, where Kior is desperately seeking medical help for her son, who has a congenital heart disease.
Very worried about his condition. And we're here because he becomes skinny and become purple. I don't want to give up my son. I want to save my son's life. So I want to go to the third country as fast as we can.
Kior has contacted both the Australian Embassy and the United Nations to apply for asylum, but has not received a response. The international community has mostly looked to the Association of Southeast Asian Nations to find a resolution to the conflict. But the final ASEAN summit for the year concluded this month without a breakthrough. The group divided on how to engage Myanmar's military and concerns growing that its peace plan, known as the 5-point consensus, has failed.
In the first iteration, the first 12 months of the 5-point consensus, when it was formed in 2021, there was some leeway for ASEAN there because they were watching to see how the crisis was going to develop. But now that it's been almost 3 years later, the lack of cohesion within that unit as well, there's little agreement amongst its members on how they should move forward. I think it does warrant a fair bit of criticism.
The National Unity Government, Myanmar's government in exile, calling on Australia to assert its influence on its Southeast Asian neighbours in pursuit of peace.
Australia is deeply involved in the Indo-Pacific political and power rival situation. Australia is a member of the AUKUS, member of the Quad. Australia has a strong national interest in Indo-Pacific So that is why Australia need to take more, one step or two step more, finding the solution, peaceful and sustainable solution for the Myanmar.
The UN says Myanmar's military has imported at least $1 billion worth of arms and raw materials to manufacture weapons since the coup, including advanced weapons systems and spare parts for fighter jets. Its main suppliers in Russia and China, as well as India, Singapore and Thailand. The NUG saying its rebel fighters can defeat the military if countries like Australia provide weapons and logistics, including Starlink.
If there is an independent communication service provider in Myanmar, that will be truly benefit for the people of Myanmar. So, for example, one of the benefits is early warning system. So, Myanmar military organizing the several airstrikes on the civilian areas, destroying hospitals, schools. So we too need a really good communication service provider independent from the Myanmar military. So Starlink is the best.
A war that will leave scars for generations to come. At the Thai Myanmar border, Aaron Fernandez, SBS World News.